GameStop plans to start opening some of their locations again for some reason.
Probably because they have to.
They took executive cuts, and now they're reopening stores in some locations under the banner of the essential service once again.
Well, they need to, or they're going to go bankrupt, bro.
That's
literally
like
the show.
opening up like a handful of locations. Is that going to stop them from going bankrupt?
Well, they need to pay the rent. They got to pay their leases. That's the problem. They're trying to stay afloat. If they ain't making if a place is making no money and they can't pay their lease, they're done. And I guarantee you these guys ain't sitting on a bunch of liquid. It ain't happening.
The craziest thing about all this right now is that in the States, and I think even to a degree here in Canada, but I think we may or may not be handling it a bit better, and it could be state by state basis as well in this down below the border, is that like everywhere, the government says, okay, non-essential businesses, you're closed. That's just coming down from on high. You're closed. Okay, fine. So everyone goes home, and lots of people stop making this thing called money. But the thing that doesn't stop are the people coming to collect on bills and mortgage payments and credit card payments and insurance payments and car loans and everything else, or food. But yeah, that's what they should be spending the money on. Then they go out there and they get like a $1,200 check or some shit, and that might cover their mortgage if they're lucky. And then they still have all this shit coming after them. And it's the same for small businesses and even some big businesses, like you're going to see here as well. Is you're not wrong. They've got to pay bills, and the banks, at best, are doing like in some instances are putting shit on furlough, which all that ends up resulting in is you get like a 3-month break, quote unquote, and then
you still got to pay it.
But then when it comes up at the end, they don't tack the 3 months on the end of the loan, which would be sensible, but they expect the 3 months that you didn't pay plus that current month in a lump sum payment. But they're not working or making money for those 3 months. So that doesn't make any fucking sense. The only way that it makes sense is if you simply defer and tack on to the end, you're extending, so your mortgage is now longer, the leases are now on your cars are now longer. You just take the months that you're not paying and tack them on to the end. Everyone's still getting their money. Everyone's still going to be getting fucking paid. It's just not right now. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you're right by saying that maybe not all of their locations, but maybe there are some storefronts that they have
expensive as shit,
that are just
bro.
expensive as shit and they need to pay their fucking bills.
Yeah. Prime real estate costs a fuck ton of money. AMC right now just got a $500 million loan to stay afloat, the theaters. And in Florida, now they have publicly went out and said to the people that they're leasing, because these AMC theaters got like prime real estate. So they've gone out and they're trying to work with the landlords to work out some sort of, hey, we'll get you when we get back up in business. We're projected to go back up in business, hopefully in July sometime, blah, blah, blah. And some of them, like humans, are working out what they can. But also some landlords have the same constraints as what these people have, because these landlords have mortgages. And
they have to go to the bank.
Exactly. Not all banks are doing what some of the big financial institutions are doing. Yeah. And it just doesn't work like that. So what Florida, there's a AMC place in Florida where their lease per month is $52,000.
Oh my God.
And AMC can't pay. So they said, listen, I can't pay you. So these guys are now suing AMC.
Oh no.
But here's the kicker. Within the clause of the lease, and it's like this for a lot of like triple net leases and things like that, where you have big companies like Walgreens, AMC's, McDonald's, although McDonald's usually owns their properties, but Home Depots, like big brick and mortars that typically we're not going to go to business. Right?
Well, they lease because it's cheaper on tax for tax purposes. Yeah,
and they do long-term leases. So you're looking at anywhere between
depreciation's a hell of a drug, Jeff.
It's a hell of a drug. It's a hell of a drug, and it's a great drug when you're in real estate. So they have leases from anywhere from like 10 years to like 30 years.
Yeah.
And so the lease that they have with this Florida, I think it's like a mall. It's $52,000 a month, but in the terms, if you do not pay for 1 month, right, which is usually not a problem for big companies like this. They always have the money.
Yeah.
But if you do not pay for 1 month, they can sue you for the entire duration of your signed lease for the remaining of your lease.
God.
So now they're suing AMC for $7.2 million.
Holy
and chances are they're going to win because it's in their lease.
Wow.
That if you miss a month, it doesn't matter what it's for.
Wow.
They're going to sue you for the whole thing, right? So, and they know that AMC has got the money, or they're going to have to pay. So, who knows what kind of lease agreement these GameStops have.
It's so fucking wild, bro.
It's
I retweeted a video. Angry Vic, I think is his name. He's got a YouTube channel. He's like angry. He's basically like a fucking raging Italian New Yorker. Yeah, Jeff is full blown naked under there. And he's doing it comedically. It's a full blown angry New Yorker rage, and it's Italian. And it's the funniest shit. But he's speaking the truth, hard fucking truth about the whole situation, where it's like, look, everyone, all of these banks, all of the governments and everything, they always tell the average person at home to always salt away money for a rainy day. You never know when shit's going to come up, and most banks will say you should have 6 months worth of money sitting around so that if anything goes tits up and all of a sudden no income's coming in, you can still pay all of your bills and do everything you need to do for 6 straight months.
Who the fuck?
Nobody, because it's almost impossible. However, what's really wild about that is that the same institutions that are preaching that shit,
they can't do it.
These are institutions that haven't had a financial crisis in over a decade, where they're making in a quarter billions of dollars in profits, not revenue. This is after they've paid everything. They have billions left over. And for some reason, we're barely even in a few weeks into this pandemic, and they're coming for multi-billion-dollar plus bailouts and still looking at the average Joe going, that fucking loan you got, bro? That mortgage you got, bro? Did you save your 6 months worth of fucking payments?
Hey, Dave Ramsey's been on the radio for 30 years, guys. Why haven't you been listening to him? 3 to 6 months. Save it up. What's wrong with you?
And it's crazy. Send you
$1,200.
It's crazy because when it comes to like services like healthcare, or bailing out the average worker right now, you know what that's called, Jeff? It's called socialism. But when it's bailing out banks and fucking airlines and all these other major multi-billion-dollar companies with big-ass, rich, white motherfucking fat-ass, balding, gotta pay for sex for the majority of their life, sweaty, useless, oxygen thief humans, that's not socialism, that's capitalism. And it's working as intended.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, GameStop probably need to go to work, Adam. That's probably what it is.
They need to go to work. They got no options.
They need to pay rent. They need to pay rent.
Oh my fuck.
They need to pay rent. Imagine being a company like GameStop that is already dying. And you've got like say you got 300 stores. None of them are open, and you're already dead. Like, what are you gonna do? I mean, you're gonna go bankrupt. They don't go back to work. They're gonna go bankrupt because all those malls and all those brick and mortars, they're gonna want their money.
Yeah, and they want their money because somebody else else money.
Yep.
Anyone seeing this like a bit of a fucking Ponzi scheme by any chance? It's just like there's a pyramid.
The banks
it just goes up and up and up.
And the funny thing is, a lot of these banks built bailouts, and like you said, it just ends up fucking you in the long term anyway. It's just like it's imaginary bucks. It's like Trump bucks.
Yeah, it's
like,
imaginary bucks.
And the next thing you know, you're gonna have like the fucking IRS or the CRA or whatever a year down the road. Hey, you remember all that money you took? Why didn't you claim that shit or whatever? Now you owe us this. Oh, hey, you didn't read the fine print. You actually didn't qualify. Now we're gonna need all that money back.
Oh, bro.
This is the shit they do, bro.
What's even fucking... And there's another point that was brought in that video was that it's like, look, especially in the States, right? Like here in Canada, we pay more in taxes, but we pay less for services over our lifetimes on average because of how the system works, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the States, they're still paying a lot of money in taxes, both federally and at the state level, etc., but they're not getting a lot of social services because that's called socialism, so we can't possibly fucking do that. It's not possible. We can't be doing any of that shit. So they're paying a bunch of taxes for what? Now we're getting down to it where the $1,200 or whatever that they're getting put back in their pockets, that's just basically tax money. But it's like the government's like, we're going to be nice to you. We're going to give you our money. And it's like, no, bitch, you're just giving me
our money.
My money back while this is all fucked.
Oh my god! There it is.
It's just not. It's crazy. It's great. You should watch it if you haven't seen the video, dude. I retweeted it earlier. Watch that video. You'll laugh. You'll laugh your fucking ass off, and then you'll be sad. And then you'll be sad, but then you'll be happy because you're like, I'm in Canada, and thank fuck, it's not that bad here. It's not perfect, but like up here, it was like the students were like, how are we can't get CERB. So what the fuck are the students gonna do? And like inside of 5 days, the prime minister comes out and goes, hey.
We got billions for you.
We got billions of dollars for you, and everyone went,
$8 billion.
Okay,
thanks, thank you.
So,
bro, you want to know? You want what's funny is everybody's getting these $2,000 checks, right? And fucking as soon as those checks hit people's bank accounts, my entire Facebook feed, was filled with people suddenly looking for $2,000 beaters, like cars.
Yes.
There were people that were like, bro, I'm rich now. Like I'm
rolling in it. Oh, they're wasting the money, bro.
Bro, they're fucking.
They're wasting the money.
Well, the thing is, some people just don't even need it. You know, they're getting it, and they don't need it. Either they're still working, or
which is exactly why when I was watching Justin's like daily thing the other day. You know, he goes outside the home, his beard's getting longer, his hair's getting fucking longer, he's looking more and more haggard every day, and he comes outside, and a fucking reporter asks, no joke, fucking asks, so, how do you defend the decision not to make the CERB universal? And I just stopped for a second, I was like, what? You want to give every living, breathing Canadian $2,000, even though the vast majority of them don't need it? And also, how much money do you think the Canadian government has sitting around right now?
We're gonna have to start it. What a stupid fucking question that is.
What kind of a fucking question? And you can I can see Justin's soul dying on the inside.
It's like an Oprah show. Hey, you get $2,000,
and
everybody gets $2,000 a month.
It's like you just made $500,000 last year. You get $2,000 a month.
Hey, you made $500,000 last year. How about $2,000? That's gonna change your life. Instead, why don't you give it to the people that fucking need the money?
Holy fuck!
Jesus, my God.
It's absolutely, it's nuts.
It's crazy, bro.
It's fucking nuts.
I love it. What's next?
Crazy times. Steam's original.
Justin Trudeau getting the $2,000 check in the mail. You know, yeah, baby.
I made it. Justin Trudeau be on Facebook looking for a $2,000 beater.
Listen, I'm just looking for something that can get me through until August. Listen, it's got to have a safety inspection sticker on it. Tires got to be, not so bald. Easy on gas. 4-door.
Can you make it happen for $2,000?
Can you make it happen for $2,000? $2,000 or less.
Fuck.